Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Doing this from my little camping trip, and I want to hit a topic that's going to be a tough one, but it's also really important, and that's discussing how you move forward whenever your life has basically been completely obliterated, and everything that you thought that was important and that you were working for or toward is now all destroyed. One of the hard parts about this, well, there's a lot of hard parts about this, but one of the key points about it is you get stuck with what you thought your life was going to be. You get stuck thinking that, you had your family, you had your kids, you had your reputation, you had all of those things that stacked up together to define who you are, and your self-worth. Part of the problem with that is that we end up having our self-worth, what's the word I'm looking for, dictated by external forces. It's dictated by your family, your kids, your job, your profession, your reputation, all those things I just mentioned. And it makes it really hard whenever you're going through this, because all those things just start falling off. You lose your family, then you start to lose your kids, and then it affects your job, and then it affects your finances, and everything that had defined who you were or who you are just slowly gets ripped away. This can be a very dangerous time whenever you're stuck in that mode. The thing is what you got to do is you have to grieve the loss of that past, of what you thought was supposed to happen. Not what is supposed to happen, but what you thought was supposed to happen. And open up for something else. Now, the hard part about this is that if you're looking at it, go, well, the only way I can have my life back is if I have my kids, or I have my job, or whatever. And you really have to basically re-baseline your life to be able to hit the reset, so to speak, and start over. Now, if along the way you get to keep some of those things, let's say there's a little bird around here. I guess they want to be a part of the video too. Anyways, then that's like gift with purchase. That's like bonus. So like if you're able to repair the relationship with your kids, that's great. If other parts of your life start working out, that's great as well. But what you have to remember, or what you have to think about, is because of this situation, you basically get to do a reset. So you don't have to be who you were before. Hard part is you may have wanted to be that, but you get to start over. You get to do new things. You get to decide who you're going to hang around, who's going to be in your life. The reason that this is so important is in the event that things don't go well. I mean, in my situation, it's gone pretty good. There are some things that aren't great. So, I mean, to a lesser extent, this also works for me, because at the end of the day, when this is over, I mean, my whole life isn't defined on the success of my kids, on the success of my job, on convincing everybody that I run into that the ex is a monster and, I'm the victim. You have to get to the points where you can let all that crap go and just focus on building a new life, doing things that you may have not done before, like me in this camping. I mean, like this camping stuff. I didn't really do that. I tried to do it with the ex. That didn't go well. But I mean, it's something that I'm just like, I'm kind of doing for me. It's nice just to get out and do new have new experiences, meet new people, and just be open to it. What I'm trying to say is that And this is really touchy, because I know you want to hear things are going to be great. You're gonna hunker down. You're gonna defeat the monster. You're gonna rescue your kids. You're gonna have a great life afterwards. Now, the last part I do agree with. I think you really can have a great life after all this. But some of those other things might not happen, and you have to be okay with it. Now, that doesn't mean you say, okay, things are going south, wash my hands, and, just walk away from the situation. I tell you, there have been a few times where this has been so rough over the last 9 years that just saying, okay, forget it, just, say, okay, I did my best, and walk away. But I'm still plugging along, and I've seen some successes. I still have one kid that's under 18, and the sad reality of 15-year-olds is they're a handful. Even in this situation, there's the crazy ass stuff comes up that they go through that adds extra little complexities to your life. The thing is just be open for a new future. Be available for it. I tell you, one of the things that's really crazy is prior to this implosion on this relationship, I was so nervous and scared of what the future was. The future made me nervous, and it, in a lot of ways, it didn't make sense, right? I mean, I was married, I had a good job, I had a good family, I had 3 kids, living the dream. But I felt uneasy. I didn't feel excited. I was constantly worried. I think fundamentally my subconscious knew that the situation was a train wreck waiting to happen, and I just couldn't wrap my head around it. But here's the difference, or here's the thing I want you to think about. I have, since this has happened, minus the first couple of years, because those were rough. But let me back up. It started out where I felt like excited. I was like, oh my God, I got my life back. I'm excited for tomorrow. What's going to happen next? The unknown was exciting. And for so many years, probably most of my life, tomorrow was scary. Tomorrow wasn't exciting. Tomorrow wasn't like, oh wow, what's going to happen next? It was more like, oh God, what's going to happen next? If you understand what I mean, there's a nuanced difference. One is fear-based, one is wow, excitement. Now granted, when I first left, I felt really good. But then the ex, took her bony little finger and went boop right in my eye, and I crashed. And it took me a little bit, probably a couple years, to start getting to the point where I was actually excited about the future again. And I am. I mean, it's yes, things are not the way I thought they were going to be. Yes, I don't have a good plan for retirement and stuff like that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, right now I have every reason to be completely terrified of tomorrow. But I'm not. I'm like, oh wow, what's gonna, maybe I'll stay at this job. Maybe YouTube will jump, will take off, and I'll be able to retire from my day job and do YouTube. Maybe I'll be able to move. Maybe I'll, it's like all these different possibilities are no longer scary, if that makes any sense. They're kind of exciting. I mean, even a couple of things have happened. Like, if you guys have been around a while, there was a few years back, there was the potential I might have to move. They were talking about selling my house. I'm renting a house and where I'm at. And, it was kind of, I was worried, but I'm like, okay, all right, well, maybe this is the catalyst to make me move. I wonder where I'm going to move. Am I going to move here? Am I going to move there? You know, how is it going to play out? And I was kind of excited about it. It's like, ooh, what's going to happen next? As opposed to, oh crap, this is terrible. And ultimately what ended up happening is they didn't sell the house I was in. They did raise the rent a lot, but it was still cheaper than if I would have rented the exact same house in the same town I'm at. It was still cheaper, so I just stayed. And I think that's really what I want you to think about. I mean, if you're, and I know this may be, and let me know in the comments if this is like, you know, if you're like, dude, Duane, you are so far off the reservation. I can't even understand what you're saying because I am in this firefight. Everything is horrible. What in the world are you talking about? You know, let me know. If by chance you're like, okay, I'm in the firefight, it sucks, but I hear what you're saying and I want some of that and I'm heading that direction, let me know. I want to know in the comments if this makes sense, because sometimes when I make videos like this, I get confused, I get concerned that maybe the message gets lost and maybe I'm farther along in this that it doesn't make sense. So I tell you what, if you've been following along for a while and this makes sense, please leave a comment to let other people who may be, you know, thinking I've lost my mind that, yeah, this makes sense. So on that, I'm going to wrap this up. I got to go head back up to camp, get settled in for the night, figure out what I'm going to do. As you can see, I was able to camp next to Kern River is where I'm at. This is the North Fork of the Kern River up near Kennedy Meadows. So right there looks kind of gross because it's kind of like there's not really, it's stagnant water, but you can see the water behind me. I think you can. Anyways, on that, be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Give yourself time to slowly heal from this. And I'll tell you, I just got an email the other day from another person who's just shared with how their life has fundamentally changed and got better, and I really believe that's coming for you. So that didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell notification, click all notifications so you know whenever I post a video. If you want, you can also sign up for the SMS notification. There's a link for that down in the description. If you really like what's going on, become a channel member, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye.